Yo, what's up my people? Nova Fourth Prince here, and like you saw in the description, we are going to be talking Dynasty Warriors 8, even though this is my Let's Play part 27 I think of my Dynasty Warriors 7. So yeah, just before we get into talking about Dynasty Warriors 8, I'm playing as Hungai. I'm on the level still where I've got to stop Cao aka Sal's forces from and defeat his navy and then catch up to him, but yeah, I've pre-commed it so there won't be any sound in this video, so I do apologise for this, just because I wanted to chat about Dynasty Warriors 8. I was packing the clay bombs and there's no cutscenes or anything, so it's just me running around killing people, loads of people, like hundreds of people, but yeah, so Dynasty Warriors 8, a lot of people, I've found it hard to find any news about it or find out what's happening if we are getting a UK release. And I guess if we get a UK release, that'd be an American release as well, I believe. But at the moment, I don't know. I was speaking to my godson, and he said to me that as far as he was aware, what was happening was that it was not getting a release in the UK or America. It was just getting released in Japan on the PlayStation 3. And it has been released over there on the PlayStation 3, but I was speaking to other people, one of my godson's mates as well who plays Dynasty Warriors, and he had a check, and obviously I've been doing a bit of research, so yeah, Guesty as well, cheers to him, and obviously my godson as well. He had a look, and it is released in Japan, like I said, because that's what's happened. It's a Japanese release, and obviously a Japanese game, so there's no all language and all that sorted out, but it might get released in the summer, but no one knows, so I'm not sure if it will get a UK release. Obviously I hope it will, and if I find out that it is getting a UK release, I shall give you guys a shout. But I've kind of been looking at Dynasty Warriors 7 and how that did, because obviously when you've got a game company like Koei Games who do Dynasty Warriors, they obviously put tons of work and effort into getting these games ready for UK release. So because all the voices and everything, I've played like nearly all the Dynasty Warriors, like literally nearly all of them. I missed out a couple of Empires, but all the Dynasty Warriors, but you've always kind of got the same voices for character. It's not often you got a change in voice, or if there is a change in one of the characters' voice, say Lubu or whatever, it's really little to notice. They use all the same people obviously to do the voices for the game, and it is just epic. But I kind of worry that because Dynasty Warriors is such a small game, if it's worth them putting the effort in. And I kind of wouldn't blame Koei Games if they didn't, just because it is such a small game. I think Dynasty Warriors, the sales figures for the US in the first week when Dynasty Warriors 7 came out, I think they sold 15k, 15,000 in the first week, which is minute, and that was for the US. So in the UK I think it did a little bit better, because it actually went top 10, so I think it was like it was number 10 in the game charts. I don't know how long for, maybe a week or something, but just the fact that Dynasty Warriors was in top 10 in the UK sales charts is yeah, that's quite a special thing. So because I know this game just doesn't sell much, and even when it comes out on release date, if you go in game to get a Dynasty Warriors game that's just come out a couple of days ago, there's a huge chance in this country they won't have it. You know, when I got Dynasty Warriors 7, I had to go to Birmingham to get my copy of it, just because it's just like impossible to find in this country. I think my godson, when he got one of the Dynasty Warriors, I think it was 6, he was searching for ages, so it's kind of difficult, and I can kind of see if Koei Games didn't put the effort in to do it just because it's not worth their while. I hope they don't do that, and I hope that Dynasty Warriors 8 gets a UK release so bad. I hope. I've seen a lot of the gameplay and the moves and stuff, obviously in Japanese, but it looks stunning. Dynasty Warriors 8 does look stunning. I shall leave some links in the description as well, so you guys can have a look at some of the gameplay and stuff for Dynasty Warriors 8, and it does look just outstanding. But kind of, I don't know, I just feel that us in the UK and the US, we get bummed out a little bit by, I'm not going to say the Asian market, but just in films, definitely. Games, I kind of feel that they're still holding it true. So all the game companies that do release games and don't have subtitles, because that was the other thing about Dynasty Warriors 8, which I was going to talk about. Sorry to backtrack, but that if we do get a release, it might be in Japanese and it might be just subtitled, which for me, I just probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't get it. I love the fact that you can kind of. I hate like films that are subtitled. Films. I'm certainly not going to like a subtitled game so much. I love my martial arts films and always have done. But I don't know if you guys, if you like martial arts films, that the last I want to say 5-10 years, the martial arts film market, or maybe the Oriental Asian film market, when they bring films over to the UK, they're just subtitled. There's no dubbing, there's no effort. Gone of the days of like Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest. I mean, Shaw Brothers, they'd make the film on site and then I think they'd do it in like 10-15 languages on site. They had all their own people doing the dubbing and everything, and then they'd just ship the film out across the world. And a lot of them films are the films they are. A lot of the old martial arts films are the films they are because of the dubbing. I know a lot of people, it was always a joke in the late in the 80s and the early 90s about, you know, the dubbing jokes and that, but a lot of them films are made amazing because of the way they're dubbed. Every time I go into like your HMV nowadays to try and buy a good martial arts film, the first thing I do is look on the back to see if it is dubbed. I think I can remember the last film I can remember which was dubbed, what I bought was probably On Buck, you know, the one with Tony Jaa, and the dubbing in that was terrible. I think that's more Taiwanese film, but the dubbing in it was awful. But I was still like, yo, at least it's dubbed, because I hate subtitled films. It kind of takes away from the moment. I find that I'm not the quickest reader on the earth, for one, and two, if you are reading it, you're either reading or you're watching the movie. I find I struggle to do both and catch them scenes and everything. So the Asian film market, kind of, we get bummed, and I don't think that it helps itself anymore. It's like they've just dropped the ball and said, oh, we can't be bothered to get it dubbed, it's too much effort, let's just put it out there, subtitles, and that's it. And I kind of feel that maybe the game market's going to go that way as well, which I hope it doesn't. Because I won't be as involved in a lot of these games if they came out with subtitles so much. I just think it takes away so much from the experience, especially with Dynasty Warriors. As far as I'm concerned, Dynasty Warriors in general is the uber super epic game for that epic movie martial arts thing. There's nothing else like it that fills my martial arts veins up like good Dynasty Warriors. I know there's a lot of other fighting games out there like your Tekkens and your Street Fighters, but the storylines never quite meet standards for me. And Dynasty Warriors is the only one that does it. Dynasty Warriors 7, like I say, which is the game that's playing in the background, is amazing, and 8 looks like it's going to be even better. So I do hope that it gets a full UK release, Dynasty Warriors 8, and if there is anyone from Koei Games watching, which is probably not, yo, put the effort in and put it out there, because I know it's a lot of effort and probably not for a lot of get back, but I know there's a lot of people in UK, US that just love these games so much, and it would be so good to get a proper UK release for Dynasty Warriors 8, which would be amazing. The other thing I think that Koei Games need to get up on is Dynasty Warriors needs a versus. Like, I know with Dynasty Warriors you can do multiplayer, so you and your friend can run around and beat up hordes and hordes of Chinese generals and stuff, and just hordes of armies and things like that. But what it needs is versus. So like me against you, but like say I can pick Hungai or whatever character I want to be, Lu Bu, whoever, Liu Bei, whoever. I pick my character, you pick your character, and then you maybe have like 100 or 1,000 troops, maybe 4 or 5 officers, against my 1,000 troops and my 4 or 5 officers. Like, you could do it like Dynasty Warriors 3, so you can go to the shop before the game and spend up your credits or whatever and get some officers with you and archer units and whatever, and have a versus, because I think at the moment that would just be massively huge, especially with things like League of Legends, and there's another one which looks really Dynasty Warriors. I think it's called Smite. I think it's called Smite, and that, if you look at that game, which looks like it's going to grow to be a really big game, it looks like it could be. That could be a massive game, that Smite. And I reckon if Curry Games put the effort into doing a big versus thing on the console, obviously, I think it could grow amazing. I think that's the only thing that Dynasty Warriors in general, as a game, is kind of lacking, that versus mode, so you can go mano, because I think that would be huge, because Dynasty Warriors is more stunning than League of Legends or Smite. You know, in my opinion, that's my opinion. I don't want to ruffle any feathers here, but in my opinion, it definitely looks more. It looks just better. Can you imagine running around and doing a versus mode against people on this? Or maybe you could do a 5v5. So you Hungai, Garning or whatever, and then the other team have got 5 people, and they've all got maybe 100 troops and stuff like that. Because, and against like versus, that would be amazing, like a 5-on-5 or even a 2-on-2, or even, like I say, just a versus. I could play that all day long, just going up against people and trying to beat their army, and then have that big epic battle fight scene at the end, hopefully. Anyway, I think this commentary's winding up. I will let you know if I hear anything more about Dynasty Warriors 8, and I know it's hard to find information on Dynasty Warriors 8 at the moment, so I will let you know. And yeah, on that, much love and peace.